What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done it all, just want it all. Oh, what you know about me? I seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? Oh, what you know about me? Oh, what you know about me?
Hey, y'all, welcome back to another episode of More Than a Title, episode 247, and we are back with a special one. Sorry, y'all, for the tardiness. We got a new setup here. Shout out to our brother Paul Arrington and his family for allowing us to come in the house and record and set up. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. If you guys knew what goes into this content thing, you probably would have quit last year. But we are here, and we are grateful and thankful. Cousin, what's the word, baby? You have to laugh to stop from crying.
Oh man, they say when you love what you do, you know what I mean? It's not work, man. This is why we always start the show and we're laughing and we're smiling because we just love what we do, man. So you already know what time it is. It's Tuesday, one of our favorite days of the week, Pod Day, right? And you know, I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. We got another phenomenal guest on the show.
Part 2, baby.
Using the word phenomenal because he was already on the show. And he already dropped major gems, and everybody was raving about the interview. So, I guarantee you guys, he's gonna top that and come back with another interesting interview on this one. And I'm just gonna say it right now: get ready to download, get ready to like, get ready to subscribe, because I guarantee you this is gonna be an amazing interview.
This is it, man. Actually, before we start there, Dr. Knowles, the feedback we got from that first episode was so incredible that so many people said they changed their perspective. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, we didn't know what to expect, man. When you came in 15 minutes early with that great energy, it just made everything just so much smoother. It was just like, oh man, we're about to have a great time, and you felt like Unc, and I feel like I'm gonna start calling you Unc, because that's the energy you gave off.
Well, you know, it's very interesting because we got to see behind the scenes and the setup. You guys got a new great setup, but it reminded me of Destiny's Child when we used to practice failure. We practiced that the lights would go off. We practiced that the sound would go off. We practiced there'd be a malfunction with the wardrobe. So it kind of reminded me of that and how you guys in a great way reacted to it, because it could have been a disaster, but you pulled it together. Proud of it.
Thank you, brother. He's starting already.
Dr. Knowles, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I don't do like fanning out when it comes to celebrities and stuff like that. But when you admire somebody and they give you a compliment like that, right? Like, it really hits home. Like you said that, I kind of felt all giddy and sound like, yo, Dr. Knowles, how we doing? I'll be honest with you, like, it makes me think about like how children feel like when their parents, their fathers, and their mothers like give them an accomplishment, just pour into them when they did something that they might have thought was like so small, but you pour into them and let them know how great they are, and that feeling, I just kind of felt that feeling right now. You made me feel like, wow, like if Dr. Knowles said that was a good job, that's it. Ain't nobody can't tell me nothing. He said it was a good job, and that's it.
Good job, man. Y'all did a good job on this one.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you, brother. Let's get into it. I know we usually do the intro, but I know we press for time, brother. But look, what's been happening since we last sat 2 years ago? What's some updates on your end? And I would love to go into the men's health and all that stuff. But what's been new, man?
Yeah, that's a lot going. There's a lot of announcements I'm going to make. I'm going to have to come back on top of January. But there's a lot of announcement. I'm going to get back into the music industry on the record label side. There'll be an announcement for that. I'm also in the music industry on the finance side, getting in the industry as a lot of artists and songwriters and producers. They're sometimes they have challenges. They need money and they need it right away. Yeah. And so we're going to announce a vehicle that a lot of writers and artists, if they have a catastrophe or an emergency and they need funding right away, we're coming up with a mechanism that allows them to do that. There's something that's going to happen with Destiny's Child starting in January.
Okay. All right.
We're getting excited. Okay.
But
we'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. But what made you get back into the music? I know you was kind of off for a little while. What made you? Just a passion, a love, or was something that inspired you?
I just see what's going on in the music industry, and I see an opportunity. And I'm unapologetic that I take advantage of when the window of opportunity. I'm prepared, and I'm gonna jump through it. So I have a window of opportunity, but you have to be prepared when that window opens. Most people aren't prepared when the window opens. I am.
Message.
Get one for that.
Wait, I want to tell you something, Dr. Knowles. You know, a lot of the times we do things and we feed off each other, and they say that we rehearse our stuff because we just be like, I already know what you're gonna say. I already know what you're gonna say. It's crazy that you just said that you're prepared for an opportunity and you're not afraid, right? To take an opportunity and be judged for it. So my cousin sent me a video, like let's say a day ago, 2 days ago, with an interview in there. Yeah. And one of the major parts that we took from the interview, great interview, was the person said, you have to be prepared. Yeah. They said the whole thing of trying to be successful is not actually becoming successful. It's training to be successful. So when that moment hits, because you never know when that moment's going to hit, you're prepared for it. So it's amazing that he just sent me that a day and a half ago, and we've been talking about it, and then you come with almost an identical story about being prepared. Is that a sign? Is that a sign?
First time
that's a sign right there. I can tell you, there's been a lot of times when I'll be out and about and someone said, hey, you know, I want to be in the music industry. I'm an artist. And I said, well, sing something. And they're not prepared.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the craziest. I felt bad. I was at a concert.
Go ahead and tell him. No, you got it. Go ahead and tell him.
I was at a LaRussell. I don't know if you know this young gentleman named LaRussell. He's an independent artist out the Bay Area. He does concerts in his backyard. So he did a pop-up shop. He has an offer-based system. And I would love to know your thoughts on the offer-based thing, right? So basically you pay for whatever you want for the ticket, right? $10, $5, $500, whatever it is. You put the offer, he accepts it or rejects it. It's an intimate crowd, 100 people. I got on the mic. This is my one moment, Dr. Knowles. I've been waiting. I've been rapping my whole life. Forgot my damn verse. Had the freestyle, Dr. Knowles. I had the freestyle. I'm like, oh no, I was so ready. But like you said, it's preparation, man. But I'm curious. There's a lot of different ways to monetize now in the music industry, right? You got offer-based things. Like, so what is some advice you give to young creators right now? Because you nailed it. Capital is the hardest thing to get for our people. We get
especially as we're growing the independent route. You know, independent artists, independent record labels. You have to have access to capital. That becomes really important. But that preparation, I can't begin to tell you how critical and why most artists fail. They're just not ready. You know, this takes about 6 years from the time you start to the time you get recognized. Is about 6 years. I've literally put a timeline on how long it takes. So when someone asks, how long would it take? It's 6 years. You're going to have failure, rejection, mistakes, forget your verse, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That comes with it. But you have to stay in there and continue to work harder. I always say, this is not microwave success. A lot of artists think it comes automatically. And, you know, we make it look easy sometimes. But, you know, Destiny's Child got dropped by Elektra Records. They lost on Star Search. A lot of failure happened before success.
Right.
I would love to get into the mind. I don't want to dive too deep into that, but I would love to know in the mindset in that moment, like you're managing, you have something like what some would consider a failure. I don't call it failure. I call it lessons. When you learned that lesson, what was that drive to make you bounce back and say, you know, I'm going to show them? Like you got to have it in you. What was that moment for you like?
Yeah, but you know, most people give up there.
That's it.
Most people give up when the life lessons hit. But you know, I always say, man, I can't put enough emphasis on a lot of people get into the music industry as artists for the wrong reason. They want to be famous. They want to get rich. But do you really love your craft? Yeah. Are you really passionate and willing to do and put in the work to become great at it? Like, especially with the new independent world that we live in, independent artists, you're competing against now millions of people.
Yeah.
So what's going to make you stand out in the pack with millions of people? It's not just going to be your ability to rap or your ability to sing. It's going to be your ability also to understand the business side of this.
Yeah, 90% of it.
You know, it made me a little nostalgic when you guys were talking about the 6 years, because I remember that back in the day when I had first got into the music business myself, you know, one of the most prominent people in your career was an A&R, which is almost non-existent today, right? Like that position is almost non-existent. But you A&R, and even if they didn't sign you in the moment, like that A&R would literally work with you for the next 7 years, like throughout your deal, and develop you. And that type of artist development, it just doesn't happen anymore at this level, because it's just create and go to market right now. So you're losing all of that development. And I want to just say this, right? I think now, Dr. Knowles, with people understanding the algorithm and understanding that clickbait goes viral, right? I think they're saying, like, why waste the time and the resources to train them to be media trained and how to speak and what answer? Why do the media training? Why do this type of training? Why waste all this money and resources when we can let them be ignorant, right? And show ignorance, and that's going to push their music faster and cheaper than anything that we could pay to train to do. You know what I mean? I think.
But let me share with you how the record industry and system is set up.
Right.
Artists aren't going to make money selling streams.
Right.
And selling records. That's not where artists is ever in their career going to make money.
Right.
The record labels, we're going to make money that way. But the artist is going to make money by touring.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you don't put in the work, you don't know how to perform. So if you don't put in the work, you don't understand there's a difference between singing and rapping and being an entertainer. Those are two different things. Most people are singers and rappers. Very few are entertainers. And so they don't even know what I mean by entertainment. Can you connect with your audience? Can you choreography? Is it tight? Is your video is tight? Is your whole set on the stage tight? You know, do you have hit songs to sing or rap?
Yeah.
All of that has to be. That's where they're going to make money. So they get 1 million streams, and they think that's a big deal, which is only about $4,000. So most people don't even know 1 million streams for just $4,000.
Oh, that sounds insane.
Yeah, most people don't even know that.
$4,000 for that. I would also think they make a lot of money, like, but it's long-term plays, it's your catalog, right? Your pubs, right? Because a lot of artists are doing that now, selling their catalog. But like, I wonder, for me, how do you appraise something like that? How do you understand the value of your catalog?
Well, you just look at the numbers. You just look at what you're selling annually, and then there's a multiplier, typically between 10 times to 14 times. So if you're doing $100, then it'd be 10 times that would be $1,000. That's the value.
Got it.
So if you're doing $100 a year, and you want to sell that, then it'll be a multiple of 10, which would be 1,000. That's how we come up with a multiple. We just multiply so many years. But again, most people don't even get to that. I mean, we're talking about less than 1% right now.
Yeah. People don't even get that far.
You know, you always say something interesting that I'm like, I never thought about it that way. I'm not being funny, but he's like, yeah, there's a difference between a singer, a rapper, and an entertainer, which, again, like, if you think about it in just the common sense version, you would go, but of course there is, right? Of course there is. But in the moment of when you just listen to music for the joy and just the benefit that whatever you use music for, of just listening to music, then somebody's just whoever's singing, right? They're an artist, R&B, whatever. Or if they're rapping, they're just an artist. You're not thinking about the performance that comes behind it. You're thinking about how the song makes you feel, right? How do you relate to it, and what it's helping you do? So you can easily forget that, or it really discount saying like, I don't even care if they can perform the motherfucker as long as it sound good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I always use Madonna as an example.
Right. Okay.
And this is not disparaging against Madonna, but if she was on right now, I think she would agree. She's not the greatest singer in the world.
Right.
But she's an amazing entertainer.
Yes.
I mean, she make people scream, yell, and hollow. You know, she used shock and sex, and and she used that. But if you can have great songs and you put in the work of your artistry, you got to put in the work of. I mean, a lot of people can't sing and dance at the same time. You got to practice that.
It takes a lot.
And that's what makes Beyonce so great. Is she has great songs. She's a great artist, and she knows how to entertain. And when you add all of that together, then But you have to. I mean, that takes years to get to that.
I want to say something though, because this is something that I thought about the other day, based on our last conversation, also. So I'm glad you said that. So you said like, it takes years of practice, but as referring to our first conversation, you was talking about she always knew what she wanted to do, and from a young kid, she was already running around doing this thing. So when we talk about experience, right, like the difference between being like an apprentice, right, when you used to like be an apprentice, you had to put in a certain amount of hours, right?
Right.
So they say to master a craft, where's your 10,000 hours, right? But without her even realizing as a child that she's putting in these thousands of hours, that's what she's doing, because she's running around, she's singing, she's dancing, and she's technically perfecting her craft at a young age, right? So by the time she realizes, oh, this is a thing, this is actually a thing I'm supposed to do, now it's a lot easier because she's been doing it so long, she's not starting at zero anymore.
Yeah. She didn't, you're right. You're absolutely right. She didn't realize it, but her manager realized it.
Right.
Who would that be?
You. You.
That was on cue.
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah, I realized it. I realized the importance and only can get better through practice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I just we keep talking about life, Dr. Knowles, and the last time we seen you a couple weeks ago,
it was great seeing you at Black.
It was good to see you at Black. It was so good to see you.
That was one thing we had to make sure. So we did a lot has changed. I wish you'd have seen us when we first came in, to the point where Don Lemon had to stop us. It was like we had a crowd of people around Don Lemon, and we just put in. You don't realize how much work you're putting in, and how many people you're affecting until you actually go there. And the love that we received at Black Week was incredible. But we made sure. I was like, yo, 3 o'clock, Dr. Knowles is on. We're going to be there. And we're going to be front row because, first of all, you didn't have to. I tell the story a lot. It took us, me and you maybe had 10 or 20 touches, maybe even 30, just on LinkedIn. Like, hey, how's it going? How are you? How's everything? Happy holidays. 30 touches until you agreed to be on the show. And some people would have gave up after that second, third, fourth, fifth one.
Right.
And it was just like, I didn't want anything. I just wanted to build this relationship. I wanted to be able to say, yo, enjoy time with the family. If you're in the city, let's go get dinner or something. And for you to recognize and see us, gave us the love and embrace that you did. And you was with our brother Sean. Shout out to Sean. It was just love, man. So like, it was just great seeing you, brother. And I just want to say thank you from an independent, Black-owned, family-run business. You don't know how much that helped us, how much it helped my family, and just how much it inspired people around us. That was like,
that's why this semester, one of the things that's happened since the last time I saw you guys is I'm up at Prairie View A&M, HBCU, right outside of Houston.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm talking marketing, I'm talking communication, storytelling, and teaching our young youth how to market and what market research means and knowing your target market.
Yeah.
Those key things that independent artists that don't have a team have to learn this stuff. Yeah. They think it's just about their craft, but they have to learn the business part of this too.
Absolutely. As I say, it's the same thing as the podcasting, I feel. A lot of people are going for the quick bag, but also knowing that as an independent artist, we have to be the talent, we have to do the creative, we have to come up with the creative promotion, we have to build the relationships, foster the relationships, we have to show up on time, be there early, do all those things, and it's just a lot. But at the end of the day, it's all about knowing your audience. If you know your audience and build the audience, you don't have to be a part of the machine. You know what I mean?
Most people don't know their audience. They don't know. So they're out there wasting time and money to the wrong audience because, you know, I always say this. Think about those songs Destiny's Child had. Bootylicious, No, 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 Independent Woman, Girls, Girls, Girls. All of those were Bills, Bills, Bills. Those were female empowerment songs. We knew our audience. We knew our audience were women, and we knew the audience was about empowerment. Female empowerment. That wasn't a happenstance or an accident. We knew our target demo.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to add this in though, Dr. Knowles. I think a lot of the times, especially with our culture, we don't have the support system that you reference within yourself to not only your children, but obviously to the group and anybody that you have been associated with, right? Even with us, right? You've been a support system and you've looked out and talked to us and given us knowledge. So once again, the problem with a lot of artistry and people that just love the art of something is trying to get somebody to believe in your dream, right? Whatever it is, singing, dancing, being a painter, it doesn't matter. It's getting somebody to believe in your dream and going through these failures that we spoke about earlier when, guess what? We thought we was going to win at this convention, didn't win. Or guess what? We thought we was going to do this and lose, lose, lose. And you still say, well, I'm not going to stop. But, you know, a lot of people have stopping points where they get off the train, right? Because it's just not their dream. And it's very difficult to find somebody that's truly, truly going to commit themselves to saying, we're going to try this thing and go all the way and jump off the bridge with you. I just think that's one of the most difficult things to find, because in my eyes, the bottom line is this. If you have the support team, a village, see, a support team can make an average Joe a superstar. But if you're a superstar without a support team, then you become just the average Joe, because nobody's ever going to get a chance to know that you're a superstar.
Yeah, and I can say when I was in college, you know, I played college basketball at University of Tennessee and then at Fisk. And as any basketball player, my dream was to play in the NBA. But I never put in the work. I never lift weights. I never practiced on my jump shot in the off season. You know, I didn't put in the work. But a lot of artists, they don't put in the work, and they won't. Unfortunately, they won't make it. But let me tell you what I did. I own a WNBA team, Chicago Sky.
Yep.
I'm one of the owners. So although I didn't make it in the NBA, I was able to stay in basketball. And some people won't be successful on one side of the mic, but they can be successful on the other side of the mic and take that experience that they learn in working towards being an artist. And now maybe you'll be a great manager. Maybe you'll be a great record label executive because you have that experience now that you would not have gotten had it not been for failure or mistakes.
Yeah.
I was laughing. Wait a minute.
It brings us back to the first episode. I don't know if you remember this, Dr. Knowles. We asked you, what would you do? You said, I'd have bought a hospital.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, he said, I'd have bought a hospital. But he said, y'all wasn't going to play basketball. I just brought a team.
So here's the thing. When I say it, they say, we rehearsed this, right? Notice I started to say it, and he knew exactly where I was going, the story and everything, because Dr. Knowles, I just want to tell you something. Like, I have to tell you this, and this is from the heart. Like, we come from the urban city, right? From the mud, like the projects, right? So when you live that kind of life, it's built on really ignorance and miseducation and not being educated at all. Because when you're not smart, you fall for a lot of dumb shit, right? And you do dumb things because you just don't know better. So if you ever got around a smart person, like a really smart person, and heard them speak the way you speak, which is just so nonchalant, like, because I didn't make it to the NBA because I just didn't try, so I just bought a team. Like,
the mindset.
If they could turn into a cartoon, their head would explode. Like,
some people can't
they
comprehend
don't even understand it. But for us now, because we've put in the work and we've educated ourselves, and now we're businessmen, and to us, when we just hear something like that, it just becomes like so inspirational. But it reminds us of like how many people do not think the way that you think.
Yeah, but you got to understand, I'm no different than how you guys grew up. You called it the hood. In Alabama, we called it the country. I lived on a dirt road. We had an outhouse until I was 12 years old.
Wow.
There's no difference. You live on pavement, and I live on the dirt road. It's the same.
It's not helping.
But you had resources. You had a bathroom.
You actually had a bathroom.
Never have an indoor plumbing, Dr. Knowles.
You actually had a bathroom. Damn. So my point is, we can't use that because we all, a lot of us started from some very humble beginnings. Yeah, but we didn't let that stop us. It's a mindset, man. It's a mindset. You can't let that shit stop you.
And that was the message I got from the first episode.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the main message. So when you say I would have just bought a hospital if they want to do that, it's the level of support you was willing to give your children. It's the level of where you were willing to go for that success. And a lot of people have different breaking points. And that was the one thing I got. And I know, matter of fact, before we get, I want to talk about the men's health, because your stuff you was talking about at Black Week was so powerful. And I would love to dive deeper into that. But I do want to ask you, what's one project or one thing that you've been a part of, that you've been, while you're doing it, you're like, this is incredible. Whether it be a song, something, what's one thing that you've done that was like, this is the highest level of entertainment. We've made it. This is the pinnacle. Did you feel that moment for yourself and your family?
So you asked, for myself, it would probably be in corporate America when the first year I was the #1 sales rep in the world.
#1
in the world at Xerox Medical System. That was a real accomplishment. To say to you the best in the world, that nobody in the world is better than you.
Wow.
That's the ultimate compliment.
Absolutely.
When you can say that. So that for me would be the first time. I'm grateful. I'm very, very humble and grateful. I've had a lot of those opportunities in life that I was associated or was a part of or was the best in the world. You know, this say Destiny's Child is the best female group ever in the history of all the music. You know, most people don't realize that when Billboard put out from 2000 to 2009, the worldwide charts, Destiny's Child was the #1 female group. And most people don't realize it. From 2000 to 2009, Beyoncé was the #1 female artist in the world. They, you know, a lot of people act like that just happened over the last 6 years. No, that happened when I was her manager. She was the #1 female artist in the world. To have the most Grammys in the world than anybody in the world ever. I mean, but you got to think that way, though. Because if you think you're going to, you know, maybe win 1 Grammy, yeah, I'm happy if I win 1. Well, you probably only going to win 1.
Got one. It's been about 10 minutes since he got one. He deserved about 2.
No, think about it. If that's your goal, I want to win a Grammy. Then you probably only win a Grammy.
Right.
But if your goal is, I want to win the most ever, now you're working towards a goal. You got to think that way. You can't think like, I'm going to be happy with some crumbs.
I care about greatness. I don't care how good. I don't care about it. I care about greatness.
I'm telling you, like it's
so real.
It just fills the soul for me to hear him speak honestly, because, you know, Dr. Knowles, we try to spread this. This is, you know, this is one of the main reasons we love to do this show, and we do it 2 times a week, right?
Absolutely.
Is because we love to just keep pouring into our community, letting them hear all of these positive things from our guests, getting all this knowledge and things of that nature, because the same exact feeling that we're getting when you're talking to us, we're trying to get them to get when we talk to them, and get them to understand exactly what you said, right? Like, we need, it's not that we don't have the talent as a community. It's not that, talent is not the question. The question is, do we have the discipline, right, to dedicate ourselves to doing a thing, right, and then coming together and supporting each other to helping us, you know, move forward as a community, as a culture. But like you said, that's just the bottom line. We have to change our mindsets. We have to want to win, and not at the crumb level, right? We should want to win at the highest level, right? And go for that, right? Right. And that's, but that is a mindset, and it's not easily obtained. But I do believe it's infectious. So if we can start changing one at a time, I think eventually, we'll get the ball rolling.
But when I talk to rooms, and I think I even said this at Black Week, you know, I'm not trying to change the world. I'm trying to change the room, one person at a time. We're just trying to change the audience that's here today, that took the time out of their day to tune in.
Right.
We can't change all Black people in the world today, but we can make an impact on who's watching and listening today.
Right.
For sure.
And I want to just applaud those that are watching and listening today.
That's it.
I mean, so, you know, since we brought it up, that was one of the parts of your life that I didn't think that you was gonna actually share as much as you did. Because we seen you at Black Week. We were in the front row, and I sat there and I listened attentively to what you said about your health. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for being, you know, just vulnerable. so vulnerable and open and willing to share that too. But you brought a lot of great information to the people that was in the room, and you know, brought awareness to what you were going through. So if you could take the time to, you know, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Where were you in life when you found out your diagnosis? Where were you in life?
Yeah. Well, again, I'm grateful, man. And one of the things that I'm working on right now is my documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was, you know, in the 80s, I worked in the medical division of Xerox, and we sold equipment for breast cancer detection. Mm-hmm. So I had a lot of knowledge from that, and being the #1 sales rep in the world. And fast forward to when I had this blood discharge in my chest area, I knew that it was possibly male breast cancer from working in the 80s. So I had that advantage that most people don't have. So 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and we've overcome that one day at a time. Have some genetic issues, because a lot of what we're finding out a lot of our medical challenges is genetics. Things that have been handed down from my grandparents to our parents to us. Cancer is one of them. Now I'm the global ambassador for prostate cancer. 1 in 8 men in their lifetime will get male prostate cancer.
Yeah.
You know, 1 in 8 women in their lifetime will get breast cancer. So for me, it's just bringing awareness to our Black people, especially because I don't care how much money you got. You know, think about the guy at Apple. What was his name?
Steve Jobs.
Mm-hmm. Steve Jobs was a billionaire. He couldn't stop his cancer. Like, cancer don't look at how much money you got or how much success you have. So without health, we don't have anything.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
We say that all the time. You ain't got any. When you got a health problem, there's only one problem that matters, right? That's it. Like, when you have a health problem, everything else drops, man. Like, so for you to go through that. I'm
just trying to get our young people to understand that, you know, they have to start taking care and paying attention. earlier, like in your 30s, you got to start now. It's not like when you get 60, because a lot of people not living to 60.
Yeah, I expect 72 is the black
Message.
Just want to add in a little piece to that. We had talked about this at the show as well. When we're talking genetics, a lot of the information has to come from your lineage first, right? And this has been a problem in our community also, right? And I'll personally speak on it. Like even with my family, I'm in my 40s and I'm just now finding out certain things are in my family genetics. And I'm like, well, when was you going to tell me that? And, when was you going to tell me that? And like, I'm already 40, right? So, that shows that there's a breakdown in communication between, the elders of the family to say, hey, listen, we know we don't want to scare you, right? I understand they might try to do it to protect you, but we don't want to scare you. But listen, these type of things run in the family and they should let you know what they are, right? Alcoholism, right? Being addicted, addiction, or maybe like some type of cancer, right? So that way you can better prepare yourself and protect yourself. Right. That if you see the early warning signs, because another thing that you spoke about was catching it early, right? Catching it early, the chance of your success going up. So when you see these early warning signs, you can jump on something and be proactive rather than reactive. You know what I mean?
I like proactive rather than reactive. Right. And now, there's genetic tests that you can get, not ancestral, there's those, but there's medical genetic tests that they just do a saliva sample, you mail it back. For men, there's a PSA test. For prostate, you just do a blood test. It's just a blood test. Right. A lot of people think it's still a finger test. No, it's a blood test.
I actually had an argument with my pops about it. So to give you context, my father was dealing with last year, Black Week. I found out he may have prostate cancer. And it was a tough time for me. It was a tough time for me. As we're doing Black Week. We were the podcast of Black Week. I stepped outside, got the call, and I literally, thank God right now, they said it was the minimum amount you could have. They said they didn't even want to call it cancer, but they said they just want to monitor every 6 months to make sure it doesn't spread or do anything like that. So for people that's dealing with that, what are some misconception? What's some advice you would give to, people like my pops, because he still think it's the finger test. I try to argue with him, you know what I mean? Well, what is some advice you give to our young brothers and sisters?
I think at 40 years old, every man should get a PSA blood test to understand their prostate. It's a number system, 1 through, sometimes you go up to 15, but the average number is around 4. And if your number is higher, then your doctor's going to tell you that every 6 months you need to be tested. Maybe you need to get a MRI of your prostate. It's different type of tests out there now. The same for women. We need to get a mammogram around 40 now. And if you have family history, like you just talked about, you need to do it earlier. So knowing that family history and being proactive, not reactive. More Black people die of prostate and breast cancer than white people. You know why? Because when we find it, it's stage 4.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's 4 stages of cancer, 1, 2, 3, 4, because we wait till it hurt. Cancer, listen to this. Cancer don't hurt at stage 1. You don't feel it. It ain't hurt nowhere. So that's why you have to take these tests. You don't want to wait till it's hurting. Then it was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the doctor, it's hurting. Nah, that ain't smart. So any of y'all been practicing, if it ain't hurting, it's okay. You got it 100% wrong. You don't want it to hurt.
Here's the thing. I want, it's a lot of things that happen. We have to understand education again, right? Pain is the body telling us something is wrong, right? From an absolute baby, even if you can't speak, if you fall over and it hurts, you're gonna cry, right? So we've learned how to understand life through a certain way, right? Pain means something bad. Now, again, I'll just use myself as a perfect example. me being a military man, we get checkups a lot, right? So if I'm always physically fit, right, and I look healthy, a lot of the times when I go in to my doctor, they don't even offer me certain tests because I look physically so healthy. And if you look at my medical records, if I don't have a record of any type of ailments, they're gonna assume I'm okay. So again, me not being a healthcare professional, I'm gonna look at the doctor and say, well, shit, if you say I'm okay, I must be okay. Right. Because
but medicine
education.
Medicine has changed now.
Yeah.
It's called patient advocacy. You've got to advocate for yourself these days.
Yeah.
I mean, these doctors, they don't have, the doctor just told me that in his training, he was trained to only spend 3 minutes with a patient. Because they have so many to see. He was trained in med school. You only spend 3 minutes. So you gotta advocate for yourself. And you know, that's I love that analogy of pain.
Yeah.
But it made me think when you were saying that, slavery, we're still conditioned as Black people.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Slavery conditioned us about pain. We felt a lot of pain during slavery. Got beaten, got hung, got killed, worked hard, worked sick. Now, were white people experiencing that kind of pain? No. So maybe as Black people, how we've been conditioned about pain and how white people have been conditioned about pain is so different. That's why they can go in and it's not hurting. Think about it.
Right. Right.
They never experienced
it. See?
I have to let that one marinate for a second.
Right.
But I'm also curious too. The doctor knows, like, we talk about mindset a lot. That's one common thing we talk about. Like, what was your mindset when you found this out? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
my mindset was my sister-in-law had just died 6 months earlier from breast cancer.
Wow.
My mindset was I was at ease because I knew I found it stage 1A. And you have a 99.9% recovery rate when you find it early.
Wow.
I don't understand. If somebody told me, hey, man, you wait to stage 4, you're going to have chemotherapy, radiation therapy, you're going to be throwing up, losing your hair, versus if you find it early, you just take a pill. That's what I'm talking about. I just took a pill. I didn't have to go through all of that because I found it early. So when I was diagnosed, I was like, I'm very grateful that I found it this early.
Right.
So I don't have to go through all of that.
Thank God.
Wait. I gotta ask you now. You know what? I gotta ask you, right? And the reason I'm gonna ask you is because we just talked about the parents and the older generations and their communication with the younger generations. Now, okay, your children are grown, right? But you have grandchildren, right? Now, because you found it in stage 1 and it was something that technically you could take care of, do you think that the average person would have then, I know what you're going to say, but do you think the average person would have disseminated that information now down to the family because they felt like, well, I took care of it. It's no big deal. I beat it. Why even worry anybody about it? What do you think the average person would do? Because I think I already know what you're going to say.
I'm grateful that in my case, it wasn't because I had the opportunity in the 80s to learn about it. You know, like most people don't know I was the first Black to sell MRI and CT scanners in America. Wow. I was in diagnostic imaging for 20 years. I was a neurosurgical specialist with Johnson & Johnson. So I know a little about medicine. And so you're right, the average person would know what I know.
Right.
But today, you can Google all this stuff. If your elbow is hurting right now, you can Google, why is my elbow hurting? There's no excuse today. We have technology.
Yeah.
We come from the community.
We didn't have that back in the day.
We shake it off, Dr. No, my damn elbow. I don't need we shake it. That's the problem in our community. I do it too.
Dr. Knowles, I'm conditioned 2 ways. I'm conditioned Because when you hurt, especially coming up, you know, we talked about these urban areas. If you going to the doctor every 2 minutes, you a punk. Like, ain't nobody trying to look soft because you could be bleeding, need stitches, bones sticking. We're not going. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm not going to the doctor.
I ain't going from. I get.
That's a really good point. So let me draw a picture for you on that.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna go to the doctor because I'm hurting, because I'm gonna be considered a punk. A lot of football players don't tell their injuries to the doctor.
See?
But their career ends up ending early because they played hurt.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about how many football players we know that played hurt and their football career ended. Or they had concussions over and over and over. And now they can barely walk, man. I mean, you know, you could play hurt. But is that the smartest thing to do? I don't know. Playing hurt.
Damn.
It's
a great analogy.
No, but when he's saying playing hurt too, it's overall. Like it's not even. He used the analogy, but he's saying playing hurt like in the mindset in general. Like go and make sure you're good, because at the end of the day, and I love it because it is true. People priorities are what nowadays, right? Clothing, right? Cars. Restaurants, wanting to live a certain type of a lifestyle, but that's everything on the outside of this. Most people
you touching on something even more important, and that health and wellness is also the mental health.
It's a mental health,
A lot of us, you know, I go to therapy. I don't go now, but back in the day, I went to therapy. A lot of people need to go to therapy. I got a black male therapist. He's black and he's a brother and he's straight up. Because a lot of this is just challenges we had when we were kids, trauma that we had when we were kids, and a lifestyle we unfortunately had to grow up in when we were kids, and we still think like damn kids. Well, that's my guy. He's supposed to say something. We still think like damn kids.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. He knows it though.
Yeah, that's so real.
He got his finger on the post.
But
that's why.
You said the other thing too at Black Week too, right? You said you know, you could put money on this, but you wouldn't put $100 for a copay, something to make sure you are right. And that was one of the lines that you said that it hit home.
Yeah. It's life, man. Life is. I love what y'all are doing, because you're talking to part of our community that needs to hear this, and y'all give it to them raw and real. And a lot of us need to have it raw and real. Sometimes, man, I get frustrated when people get on and say big ass words and try to articulate how smart they are. We just got to be down to earth, man, and be real about and authentic about life. That's what I love about you guys. Y'all guys just authentic about it. You know, I'm authentic. What you see today is the same person you saw the last time I was on.
That's a fact.
That's no
lies there. We told the story once you left, man, but the fact that you showed up 15 minutes early, so well, I'll tell you the whole day. We sitting excited. Oh, this is the one. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do this. We don't know how you're gonna be. We don't know if you're gonna be like bougie. You don't know. We don't know what to think. We just like, yo, like Mathew Knowles, and he showed up on our show. We're effing honored. And then you show up 15 minutes early, talking about I can't wait to get my message, and it just made everything right for us, man. And then to see you,
well, I showed up 15 minutes early because I've been in entertainment 30 years, and I know that technical stuff happens. And if we don't get there early, we can't fix it. Like today, right? If I hadn't got there early, we might have been finding some technical stuff out even later. Yeah. So you got to get, you know, early is not being on time. A lot of people think that's early.
Yeah. So I also want to tell you too, we have a lot of brothers that work with you that have been on the show. We've had Dr. Marcus Collins come on the show. We've had Steve Kamon, CEO of Versus, who worked with your daughter at the Coachella, and they all say the same thing about you, man. They say that you're somebody who's giving opportunities, that's real, same way Monday through Sunday, and that sticks with us, man. So I like, once again, I know we're coming up on time, Dr. Knowles, but I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, as a grown man who started this as a dream with my cousin, with my brother, you know, you come on the show and doing what you do and giving the gems, it meant the world to us, man. Like,
well, I do it from my heart, and I commit to doing it again with you guys. I like to come back on like end of January because I have a whole lot to talk about. I would have made 4 announcements by then.
Can I put it out in the air? Can we? I want to come down. I want to come down to Houston. I want to come down to Houston. Cause we got a brother down there. We shout out to our brother Philanese Floyd. My brother's down there. I was actually down there a couple of months ago. But we would love to come down there, man, and just chop it up with you. Like show us a day and really get that content, man, and really show you the you. Because that's the
Let's
best.
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Say no more.
Yeah,
Done.
we'll put something together. I do want to tell you though, once again, Dr. Knowles, the work you're doing is making a difference, and I just want to say that to you, right?
Facts.
I understand that, you know, you're a man of many accolades already, but, you know, people just telling you how you affect their life, I think is the most genuine thing that you could have, because it's just from the heart, right? So I'm just telling you the work that you're doing, it means something, it matters. You are changing the room because every room that I've actually seen you in, and now we've seen you in multiple rooms, we've watched you change that room. And within the minutes that you were in there, which is very powerful, right? And this is your platform now. So just understand that, you know, all you have to do with us is just let us know when you want to come on, and we will be honored to have you on again because our audience needs to see success multiplied, right? To change their mindset, we have to keep feeding them and showing them that success is possible in different aspects of life, and try to override the obviously clickbait stuff that they see every single day that's going to dominate their feed. So, we're just opening giving you an open invitation to the show. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank y'all, man, and happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays, man. You cooking, Dr. Knowles? You making a turkey? You deep frying? What you doing?
Let me say this.
Okay.
Don't forget that when those folks from the UK, London, came over to America, how we celebrate Thanksgiving, they poisoned the Indians, poisoned them.
Yeah.
I have a mixed emotion about Thanksgiving. How it's presented, like they took advantage of these people when they came to America. These people were there in open arms to help them.
Yeah,
and they damn near they killed most of them and put them on reservations. So I have to keep his story real.
Yeah, there you go.
And the second thing, I got a Zoom call on Thanksgiving, because we're the only country that celebrate it. Other people, my class in the UK, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Right. People in Japan, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So if you're working the world, then you realize the rest of the world is not stopping for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I know. I sucked the air out of the room.
No. You got me ready to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go back to my native. I'm a Cherokee Indian.
Again, Dr. Knowles, when you speak in the real and you speak in the real and the truth is heard, you know, people know when the truth is heard, right? Whether we act upon it or not, like, I'm not gonna lie, I just love me a deep fried turkey, so I'm still gonna eat it. But I appreciate you telling the truth.
No, I think it's great that we celebrate family.
Yeah,
but we should celebrate family, especially as Black people. We should celebrate family more than once or twice a year.
Absolutely.
That's one of the points also I'm making, is that we shouldn't let maybe a fabricated holiday. Now, you think about it. Every month there's a holiday. That's set up for corporate America to succeed.
Right.
Who gains the most on these holidays?
Yeah.
So we just have to be smarter as Black people. You know, I would love to come back on and just have a Black conversation.
Let's do it. That's the next one. No, we gotta do I'm Black, y'all.
All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we up on time. Listen, once again, Dr. Knowles, we appreciate you coming on. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, it's more than a title. It's your favorite podcast. We're gonna see you after the holiday.
Enjoy the holiday.
Enjoy your holidays from our family to your family. Listen, just like Dr. Knowles say, let's try to celebrate each other more, right? It doesn't take a holiday to celebrate each other, and we need more time to do it in the right way. We're going to see y'all later. It's your favorite podcast.
Dr. Knowles, nothing but love,
Nothing but love.
See you later.
What you know about me?